Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Rowan, Lyranwitch. Today I'm going to be sharing a dream message that I got I guess it was last month I got this, but it's pretty funny. So it's more of an analogy or a story that my guides wanted me to share. So to those of you who are new here, welcome. And to those who are returning, you guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. And as always, these messages are shared in the spirit of bringing more love and peace to your life. So this message, it's so funny. I had this dream that I was watching a Lifetime reality show. It was very cringy, but it's hilarious. I woke up laughing. Um, it was a reality show, and I saw on the TV screen that I was watching, it's giving living. And it was the main person on the show was this Kardashian looking woman, and it kept doing cutscenes to her talking about her experience on this show, It's Giving Living. And the premise of the show is that this woman had all of these this is very dark, but she had all these like corpses with her that were like people she knew, and she was dragging these corpses to like this fancy banquet style dinner at a fine dining restaurant. And it kept doing cutscenes of her being so embarrassed that these people that she was dragging around that had passed before, right, who were basically like dolls that she was like trying to put in place and putting napkins on them and pretending to feed them and stuff. She was being embarrassed because they weren't acting the way she wanted them to at the restaurant. She's like, it's so embarrassing that my family and my friends aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like, they're getting crumbs everywhere. They're just sitting there. They're not even making conversation. They have such bad vibes. And meanwhile, they're literally corpses in the dream. And it was supposed to be like, they're zombies or something, but they had no, personality. They weren't obviously on the same level as this woman because she's alive and they're dead. And they were like sitting there drooling and stuff, and they kept doing cutscenes to different people that she was with at the restaurant, just judging and being upset that these people weren't acting the way they want. And essentially, like, it's this analogy for how we expect people in our lives to come around sometimes. These are people who are unwilling, fully unwilling to realize the truth about their own lives, much less the truth of the world around them. These are people who are living in their own very limited, very oftentimes dark or sad reality where they're not getting it together. They're not really living. They think that life has to be a certain way, and they keep themselves in these very confined boxes and take out their frustration about being in the box that they put themselves in on everybody around them. And this is what the guides were symbolizing with this is like, you can't go to the dinner with this group of people and expect them to be conscious of their decisions and be conscious of the energies that they are bringing if they are still unwilling to come around. I mean, there's a lot of people who are living in completely different frequency realities than we are. And what I mean by that is that if you have already gone through the shamanic death process in your life, meaning you've gone through multiple, sometimes dark nights of the soul, where you had to let your entire ego go, you had to like understand where you're making a lot of mistakes in your life, where you're fucking up and where you're being the kind of person you don't want to be. And then accept that you've been that person and that you don't want to be that person, and go through the very difficult and arduous process of slowly releasing habits, thought processes, thought forms, and sometimes entities that have kept you locked within those actions, locked within the boxes, locked within the robotic zombie like actions that lead to you bringing the energy you know doesn't work. And a lot of you in this collective and in every collective, because this is what we're dealing with right now, are still expecting the people who are in this zombie like state and haven't gotten to the point where they're prepared to wake up yet and to come to their own truth yet. to behave in such a way that would require them already having been through years of self-actualization. There's a lot of people who feel very burdened by life and very weakened by life and have life circumstances that has prevented them from going through their awakening process because of structural things in our society that are gates, to keep them away from themselves. Generational poverty can act as that, racism can act as that, and all of the trauma that those things bring. There's lots of different things like that. If you're dealing with food insecurity, of course you're not thinking about awakening. If you're dealing with, problems keeping a job or just not making enough to live and constantly having to scrap through everything, like, of course that's not going to be your main concern. Sometimes spirit will come in and, like, I've been through this. They'll put you in a situation like that and be like, I can get you out, like, but you need to realize some things about yourself and get unstuck. I have a job for you, right? But that doesn't happen to everybody like that. It really doesn't, and it's not really fair to expect everybody to come around and come out of the zombie thing on your schedule. Some people don't do it in this lifetime for whatever reason. Everybody is capable, but some people really do have a lot more intense things that they're going through. And it's important to have compassion for that and to go to your dinners and accept that that's what you're dealing with sometimes. It doesn't mean that you can't have bread with these people, that you can't have food with these people, but, Spirit's really saying, like, some of you really need to adjust your expectations. And as a collective, we need to adjust our expectations because not everybody is seeing things the way that we do. Not everybody is going to behave the way we want them to, obviously. And that's for reasons that are sometimes out of their control, definitely out of our control, and all divinely guided. But, don't go to the dinner expecting the zombies to wipe their mouths when they're done and not be cringy, okay? If you know you're going to dinner with a zombie, expect zombie behavior, all right? But yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. It's just kind of like a silly, bizarre dream that I had from my guides. So I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I'll see you in the next one.